So, welcome to the lecture. Today, we're going to be talking about habits, how to build them, how to maintain them, how to destroy bad habits, all the good stuff. All right, hold on. Let me just send a message out to the chat. Okay, let's see. Okay, how to avoid getting burned out. I feel like you need to spice up what you're doing. So, if you're studying something like math, you need to make it interesting when you're studying it. You need to like have fun. Don't chunk up your studying as well. Don't just study for 8 hours straight in the day. Make sure you have chunked amount of learning, so it's like maybe 2 hour blocks or even less throughout the day, so it's easier. How to build habits on an irregular schedule. Well, I mean, see, habits, it doesn't matter if you have an irregular schedule, because the way that I'm going to be talking about building habits is through like a special like method. It's from what's it called Atomic Habits. So uh, it doesn't really matter if you have an irregular schedule because you don't need to do habits at the exact same time every single time. It just needs to be done. Appreciate it, Kamara. Thanks for this support, bro. Oh, I'm real tired, bro. How do you keep yourself motivated? Well, I know Pablo and Jonah does this, but you can create a wall of quotes or like pictures like that are motivational for you. So like I know that they do something like keeping like a picture of Michael Jordan or something on your wall and like quotes that inspire you or motivate you. That's one way. Let's see. How to stop getting distracted so easily. Honestly, meditation is probably the best way. It keeps you mindful, allows you to focus for longer periods of time. That's probably my favorite. How to reduce or stop playing video games and social media. All right. See, I feel like I'm gonna take the approach from the way God King does it. Is take one habit that you don't want to have and stop doing it for 90 days, and then move on to the next and repeat. But I'll be talking about like just in general from Atomic Habits, like the main method to get rid of the habits or the bad habits. Let's see. Um, 1 second. Okay. Thank you, Victory, for supporting, bro. It's always nice to have you in here. Damn, I'm getting spammed. Appreciate it, Raz. All right. Sometimes habits transition into addictions. Well, it depends like I mean it's not bad to have like an addiction to the gym or something. I mean obviously if you're like going every single day and like completely overworking yourself, that can be detrimental to your health, but in general, you're not going to have a problem getting addicted to like a positive habit. It's not bad to get addicted to something like learning. It's not bad. So obviously make sure to not take it so far. Yeah, as Orthodox said, you came in clutch with about the that's some Jeffrey shit. I ain't gonna cap. Yeah, just stop entertaining them. The person who's being a clown, bro. Just mute them, and eventually they'll stop because nobody's paying them mind. So XVV question was how do you use positive habits to replace negative habits, or how to replace those negative habits quickly. Well, again, like in the method I'm gonna talk about, it'll detail that. So just stay patient, and I will get to that later down the lecture. Yeah, Sean, it's gonna be mostly based on Atomic Habits. Just the cheat sheet. I have it up right now. I'm just gonna be talking about that mostly, but I'm gonna be talking about like the best habits to have, the worst, like Keystone Habits and a bunch of other stuff. Mm. Let's see, music outside, or is it bad for mindfulness? No, when you're meditating, just make sure you're paying attention to your breath. You don't want to have music playing while you're doing that. How to deal with the regret when you've not been following a good habit. Look, we're all human. There's gonna be days where we don't do what we need to do or we relapse off of a habit. But it's good to just stay in the positive mindset and realize you have tomorrow. Obviously, you can't delegate your habits every single day, but learn from your mistakes. And if you need to, use accountability through people, through even this Discord. Let's see. So we're going to start in 7 minutes. I'm reading Atomic Habits, but don't really know how to apply the knowledge. See, the way that I like get the most out of my um what's it called books is I like to like take notes on the book while I'm reading it, so it allows me to go back to the information and then retain the information a lot better. So yeah, it's also like take whatever you're reading and then reflect on it. Think about how you can apply it into your daily routine. Any other questions? Drop them in the lecture chat. And just curious, what have you achieved in your career slash life? I got my black belt. That's pretty sick. But to be honest, I'm still pretty young, so I haven't done anything too crazy yet. But I've quite a lot of ambitions. How am I getting notifications from a muted channel? That's crazy. Mm. My question: when you go outside, example grocery shopping, is it bad for mindfulness to hear music? Nah, bro. Like you don't have to be mindful every second of the day. Obviously, that's the ultimate goal. But listening to music is it's not bad. Even if it's outside of like your house, it's fine. Thank you, little sus, bro. That was a it was a very grueling testing, but fucking it was the hardest day of my life to be honest. But yeah, glad. Great to hear you have a black belt. How did you get authority to lead a lecture? Well, I've been on self improvement for about a year now, and you know, I proved that I have value to share, and so I'm sharing it now. Black belt in karate, Pedro. How do you fit more things into your schedule without it becoming disorganized? I feel like if you time manage your day, so like plan out what you're gonna do throughout the day, you'll find time. You'll find a lot more time that you're wasting through social media, through video games, through whatever. You'll find time. And if not, you can probably condense something that you're taking a lot extra time that you're already doing throughout the day. Just like in 12 hours, you can do a lot of things. Let's see. Okay. Keep dropping questions in lecture chat, and I can. It can be about fitness. It can be about habits. It can be just general self improvement. It can be anything. Just let me know what you have to, or if you let me know anything you want to hear. Best advice to break a chain of bad habits. Honestly, if you just need to be again, mindfulness plays into this because you can recognize that you're in that bad chain, and then when you recognize you're in a bad chain, you can obviously like stop. But again, as I said, I'm gonna be talking about like more specific steps about breaking bad habits. Any tips to stop social media binging? My, I know I've said it like twice already, but again, mindfulness. Yeah, again, as Legend said, just making sure that you are busy throughout the day, using accountability. Like again, there's a lot of the stuff that is in the lecture that I'm gonna be talking about a lot of stuff that can probably help you out here. Well, Doom's Gate, right now you can ask any question you want. You can ask any question during the lecture, but we're gonna be talking about just habits in general during the lecture. Well, when it actually starts. I joined late, but what do you do, man? Like for money and also spiritually. Well, again, I'm 17, so I don't like, and my family's pretty well off, so I don't need to work right now, so I don't do anything for money. But I am starting my YouTube channel, trying to build it up into a personal coaching business, and that's what I'm gonna probably do for money. And I'm also going to uni later on, but spiritually, I'm not super spiritual, so yeah. Been working out on losing body fat for the last 10 months. I lost most of it. My belly fat, but the love handles are very stubborn. Honestly, you can't spot reduce fat, so there's nothing you can really do about that. Just keep losing fat, and you can work out your obliques as well. That can do some wonders. Let's see. Keeping your friend on self improvement. Honestly, you can lead your friend, like as the analogy states, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink the water. You can only do so much, and if they're not willing to put in the work, there's not much you can do past that point. But yep. How to deal with feeling behind in life? Well, honestly, I feel like the only reason you feel behind is because you're watching YouTubers that are like millionaires at 19. You're watching Instagram videos of people who are doing way better than you in life. So stop using those things that are making you feel bad. It's a social comparison. HX Gambler, any tips on how to catch yourself when you start drifting during a conversation or while listening to someone? Meditation. I want to start working out, but I don't know where to start. Just start right now. Do some push ups right now. Do one push up. Tomorrow, you might want to do a push up and a crunch. Build a habit, and then start doing research, find a routine, and then if you want to, go to a gym. Or if you want to, right now, I have a workout program that I'm currently using for beginners. If you want it, I can give you it. Just send me a DM. Any advice you would give to your 15, 16-year-old self regarding habits? Again, I'm 17, so that's like 2 years ago. Let's see. I'd say making the most out of accountability, because like using social accountability is probably like the best way that I've found helps me like stay on my habits on top of the things that I'm going to talk about in this lecture. How do you slash would you personally combat procrastination? I swear to God, I'm gonna be saying meditation like 18 times for throughout this lecture, but meditation is one. Um, Understanding the why as to why you want to do whatever you're studying. You need a why in life. You need that to bring you motivation. Okay, I'm gonna answer like two more questions, and then I'm gonna start the lecture. King Joe, the YouTube is in my Discord profile, so if you click on my profile right now, it should be linked there, and you should just be able to click it and see my channel. Okay, let me find a really good question. Jason Todd, I can't really answer that in like a short term, so just send me a DM and I'll get back to you. Ooh, school and self improvement. See, I had my school just started, so like I don't have too much experience because I started self improvement while school was online, right? So I don't have anything to say specifically for that, but I feel like again, time blocking your day. So you spend 10 hours at school and then you come home. Obviously, you're going to eat something or something like that. Like, or you know what? Have a morning ritual. So you do your three self improvement habits of meditation, gratitude, and journaling in the morning. You come home, you can do your exercise, your reading, like when you come home, but that's kind of tough to balance, to be honest. Let's see. Does NoFap really make you more attractive to girls? Not in the physical sense, but I feel like it gives you more confidence to talk to them and just like be just confidence in general probably helps you. But yep, indirectly as Dom said. Okay, that will be it for the questions. If you guys have any other questions later on in the lecture, I'll be able to invite you guys up to stage or answer questions in the lecture chat. Yes, the lecture will be recorded. It is being recorded at the current moment. Okay, let's see. How to build habits. Now, first of all, I just want to talk about like good habits to have, like keystone habits that can like build into other things like meditation can lead into better overall everything basically. So, I just want to talk about some keystone habits. So, one, like here, I'll just talk about like my big 5, which is the habits from uh the habits that Hamza like recommends. So, meditation, gratitude journaling, reading, journaling, and learning. Now, all of these habits are things that can lead into other things. If you meditate, your conversational skills will improve as you're going to be able to be mindful in the present moment. Reading, you're going to get more knowledge. Learning, you're going to get more knowledge. Gratitude increases your happiness, and journaling and meditation improve your mental health. And when your mental health is improved, you have a bigger capacity to do other things. Okay. Other supplementary habits are probably like visualization is a really good one. I think I talked about exercise. Exercise is just amazing in general. Mental health, physical health, a bunch of other things. Prevents disease. But yeah, okay. I'll just quickly go over how to build a habit and then I'll like from the Atomic Habits cheat sheet and then I'll talk about any other specific tips I have for you guys. Okay. So now this lecture is mostly based off of Atomic Habits and in Atomic Habits there's a cheat sheet for creating a good habit and breaking a bad habit. So now the first law states that you need to make your habit obvious. Now what does that mean? Fill out a habit scorecard. So like using something like a habit tracker. So you're making it obvious. It's in your daily life. Keep your journal open and on your desk somewhere you see it very frequently. That's how you make it obvious. 2, use implementation intentions such as I will do a specific behavior at X time in X location, right? So doing something like I will meditate at 8 p.m. in my bedroom. It creates a bigger intention and makes it obvious of when you're doing it. Next, number 3, use habit stacking. So basically, doing something like after I brush my teeth, or after I close my laptop, after I drink water, I will gratitude journal. After I, let's see, after I brush my teeth, I will do push ups. Use habit stacking. It puts one habit on top of another. So using something that you already do really frequently, like brushing your teeth, will allow you to stack the habit on top of it and make it like a coupled habit. It's easier to build a habit that way. Number 4, design your environment and make the cues of good habits obvious and visible. This plays into the habit tracker. This plays into the wall that you can use. Using a wall of motivation, you can put your habit trackers on the wall. It's in front of you all the time. 777. We're talking about habit. Okay, now the second law is making the habit attractive. So making it attractive plays into 3 different parts. Part 1 will be using temptation bundling. So pairing an action you want to do with an action you need to do. So doing something like running, you can pair it with listening to music. You can pair listening or like exercising with listening to music as well. So pair something that you want to do with something you need to do. Okay, next, join a culture where your desired behavior is normal, which is this Discord. This Discord holds so much power because we're all here, we're all in self improvement, we're all looking to, like, all of us are doing these habits. All of us are doing meditation, all of us are doing exercise, we're all reading, learning, journaling, etc. We're in this culture where the desired behavior is normal. And number three, create a motivation ritual. So you do something you enjoy immediately before a difficult habit. I also recommend doing the habit that you want to do in the morning where your willpower is the highest. That's something that can help. Now, what does this mean? That means you can listen to music before you go into a really heavy workout or before you start studying. You can eat some food before you go into studying, etc. Just do something you enjoy right before you go into a difficult task. The third law is making it easy. Now, again, this has 5 parts. This is one of the most important parts of creating a habit. So part one is reducing friction. So basically what you're going to do is decrease the number of steps between you and your good habits. Now, what does that mean? So basically, instead of your habit, like you want to read, right? Don't put your book across the room or outside of your room, downstairs. Keep your book that you want to read right next to you. Keep it really close by so it reduces the amount of steps and friction that you have towards getting the book or whatever you want to do. Next, part two is prime the environment. Prepare your environment to make the future actions easier. Now, this plays into what I was saying about keeping your books or your like whatever you want to study really close by, keeping your environment like in key condition so that you want to do your specific task. Now, part three, master the decisive moment. Optimize the small choices that will deliver outsized impact. Part four, use the 2-minute rule. So downscale your habits until they can be done in 2 minutes or less. So if you want to start building a habit of exercise, start by making your exercise routine 2 minutes long, maybe even lower, like 1 minute. So you're just building the habit of starting to exercise, and then over time you can increase the amount of total time you exercise. And part five, automate your habits. Invest in like technology and one-time purchases that can lock the future habit. Now, a great example of this is buying exercise equipment that's expensive. You're not going to want to buy the equipment and then not use it ever again because that would be a really bad investment. Or it can be something like buying a book, buying a course online. You're not going to want to waste your money by not like actually doing the course. And finally, the last law, the fourth law, is make it satisfying. So use reinforcement. Give yourself an immediate reward when you complete your habit. You read a book for like a couple pages, reward yourself by doing something you enjoy. That can help reinforce the habit. Now, part two, make doing nothing enjoyable. So when avoiding a bad habit, design a way to see the benefits. By doing nothing, if you're abstaining from something like PMO, make your like understand the immediate reward by not doing it. Use a habit tracker, as I said before. So keep track of habits. Basically have like a calendar. Keep Xing off like dates on the calendar, so you're building a streak over time, and you can see the X's. So you don't want to break the chain, obviously, in your head because it's satisfying to see more X's. And the last part is never miss twice. So if you forget a habit, make sure you do the habit the day after. You do not want to miss 2 days in a row. Otherwise, you're probably going to stop doing the habit entirely. So make sure it's maximum never miss twice ever. If you're doing if you run every day or walk every day, or you're trying to build a habit like exercise, never miss a day twice on your exercise routine. Now, that's all from Atomic Habits, the cheat sheet. These are all like this is how you build a habit from top to bottom. You make it obvious, you make it attractive, you make it easy, and you make it satisfying. Make you follow these four steps, and you can basically make your habits easy to follow. Thank you, Kamara. And guys, I'll post this entire cheat sheet in the description, unless Metro, uh, does it for me. But that's on him. Like if he's gonna compile everything, because I know he does that sometimes. Okay, so I gave you how to build the habits, and I talked about the best habits. How do you? Okay, well, actually, let me check my DMs real quick. Alrighty, 1 second. Let's see. Yeah, I got you, Metro. I'll do it after the lecture, but I got you. Okay, now a few things that I can say helps, like build habits. I can say that one of the best things is using accountability. So something like a group chat full of people where you're like this community can serve as an accountability group chat. So basically using like for example, this guy named Haxolotl, an absolute G. He came and he made this accountability group chat where we all share our goals for the next 3 months. And using that, it makes me want to push towards the habits and finish them because of the social aspects of it. I don't want to be here embarrassed and full of shame that I didn't like say like I said I was gonna do something and I didn't complete it. Hamza fanboy, don't worry, it will be recorded, so you don't have to worry about that. And monkey, no, it is not a good habit to have. Okay, so accountability works pretty well. I can say honestly, the Atomic Habits cheat sheet covers it pretty well. It's That's probably one of the best ways to build the habit in general. Now, how to break a bad habit. First of all, I'm just going to talk about some bad habits to have. I can say excessive social media use, excessive video game use, excessive anything is pretty much bad. Excessive PMO use, excessive binge eating, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of bad habits. I can't really state all of them because there's a lot to state. I mean, Ashraf, like excessively doing anything, like, because if you're meditating for 8 hours of the day, I mean, first of all, you must be pretty well off to have time to do that, but that's not healthy either. Everything in moderation is okay, unless you're trying to get rid of a habit. But all right, let's go. How to break a bad habit. Now, there are a few things or there are four separate laws again, similar to how to break or build a good habit. Now, the first law is the inversion of the first law. So these are all inversions of the first law. So basically, instead of making it obvious, you're gonna make the habit invisible. So basically, you're gonna reduce the exposure that you have to the habit. You're gonna remove the cues of your bad habit from your environment. If you are someone who likes to binge eat, remove the amount of bad food that you have in your environment. If you like to do PMO and you don't want that, if you don't bring your phone to your bathroom, reduce the cues, like an area that you do a bad habit, reduce the amount of cues that you have about that habit in that area. Now, two, the inversion of the second law, which is making it attractive. Make the habit unattractive. Reframe the mindset you have about the said habit and highlight the benefits of avoiding your bad habits. Highlight the benefits of avoiding PMO. You'll increase your confidence or increase your social skills. You'll get muscle faster. I don't know if that's true, but there's a bunch of things that you can like benefit from abstaining from PMO. You got to reframe your mindset to understand why these habits are negative. If you binge eat, abstaining from it, you'll lose weight just by abstaining from binge eating. Now, the inversion of the third law, which is making the habit easy, make the habit really, really difficult to do. Increase the friction that you have, so increase the amount of steps between you and your bad habit. For something like, again, PMO, have a blocker on your phone and make your phone further away from you. Make it across the house if you need to. Make the friction between you and the bad habit greater. Again, something like binge eating. If you have candy in your house, take the candy out of your house and make it so that you have to go to the store and buy candy. That can increase the amount of friction between you and the bad habit, and that can help you get rid of said habit. Now, the second part of the inversion of the third law is using a commitment device. So restrict your future choices to the ones that benefit you. And that can tie into accountability as well. So if you have the accountability goal of abstaining from binge eating for 90 days, you can use that as a commitment device to stop doing said habits. Now, I know Hamza talks about building willpower to abstain from habits as well. But again, if you're a chronic binge eater, I don't know how effective keeping a candy bar on your desk at all times when you're like in the beginning stages of getting rid of that binge eating habit. I'd say increase the amount of friction you have between you and that habit to start with, and then use something else that you have a little bit more control over to build your willpower. Eventually, you'll increase your willpower and diminish your negative habit to the point where you can do as Hamza says, but don't start off by doing that because you're going to eat it instantly. Okay. Now, inverting the fourth law. Instead of making it satisfying, you'll make it unsatisfying. Now, what does that mean? So first, an accountability partner. I've said this a lot of times, but again, the social aspect, you do not want to feel like you're lowering yourself on the social hierarchy. You do not want to do that in your brain. You use that as a way to help you stay away from the habit. If you have to update your accountability partner every time you do a bad habit, you're going to try to minimize the amount of times you do that. It's really awkward saying to your friend that you relapsed to PMO. It's very awkward. So you're obviously not going to want to do that. Hence, an accountability partner. Now, the second part of this is you can create a habit contract. Make your habits cost money. Make it cost public humiliation. If you relapse on PMO, you have to pay someone. If you relapse on your binge eating, you have to put that on your story on Instagram. Use these tools as a way to get rid of your if you have a barrier between you for doing PMO and you have to send like $100 to a charity or to your friend, are you choosing temporary satisfaction and losing $100, or are you choosing to keep $100 and be happy? That's another way you can use it to break your habits, your bad habits. Now, this basically covers all the ways of getting rid of bad habits. You can also use, I know Colton was talking about this, and I know he's going to come up on the stage later to talk about it again, but he talked about using something like imitating the person you want to be, and saying something like, instead of being like, oh, I want to do something, you say, I am something. So instead of saying something like, I am going to go to the gym, I am an athlete is what you would say instead. Okay, hold on. I just want to say, can we clap it up in the chat for hitting 100 people listening? You guys are amazing. Never had this many people in here. It's actually sick. But yeah, so like, and also you can play that into using PMO, but like, instead of saying, I want to quit something, say, I don't do that thing. If you say, I don't want to fap, or say, you're on no fap. No, I say, I don't fap. That's another way so basically you're imitating the habit you want to be. And that can play into the book, The 48 Laws of Power, because it also yeah, you're wildin', bro. But that can play into the book, The 48 Laws of Power, as it talks about different ways you can like imitate a behavior you want to like be or something like that. So like, see, there's two books I recommend here right now, or actually three. The what's it called? Either The Power of Habit or Atomic Habits. That literally has everything I'm talking about right now, and it has more things that I will or that you'll learn about habits in general. That's one thing I can say. Power of Habit or Atomic Habits, both amazing books. Two, The 48 Laws of Power. Again, it kind of talks about what I was saying about this stuff. And then number three, the Easy Peasy Method for you guys who are struggling with NoFap and PMO addiction. Easy Peasy Method, literally, it cut my entire habit of like being addicted to PMO. It's been since May 23rd, the day before my birthday, I stopped watching porn completely. I have relapsed off of NoFap a couple times, but it's been so minimal and it hasn't even affected my life. So, Easy Peasy Method. It's been more than 90 days. Thank you, Quincy, for plugging that. That is like the one thing I suggest most for all of you guys. It had the most profound effect on my life, and I think it can do the same for you guys. Now, I know one thing Jonah wanted me to talk about is how do I juggle so many learning skills and habits without burning out, because he in his message he basically said how like I'd be interested in learning how you like juggle like skills like learning medicine, learning biology, learning French, and doing all these things in one day. Now, obviously, it's hard to like stay on these habits for long periods of time and keep going without burning yourself out and not having like motivation to continue. But what I did and how I balanced these skills was by like doing skills that I enjoy and then splitting the skills into varying like topics. So like I'll start with medicine and then after like 15-20 minutes I'll move on to meditation and then I'll move on to journaling and then I'll move on to French. So breaking up what you're doing can keep yourself more interested throughout your study session. It keeps you like interested in what you're doing because it's completely changing up. Now that is like pretty much all I have to say about habits in general. I know I talked about how to get rid of being burned out in the beginning. It's just it like find something you enjoy and have fun. But I already talked about it in more detail at the start of the lecture. If you guys missed that, this will be recorded and it will be posted to the YouTube channel. I will link it here afterwards, but you guys should definitely take a look at that if you missed anything, because there's a lot of value that I've said so far. So if you guys missed anything, you can look at the YouTube channel. But that's all I have to say right now. You guys can raise your hand if you want to come up onto the lecture stage. I'll be taking questions for, let's see, how long have I been going? 40 minutes. Okay, so I've been going for 40 minutes. I'll go till about maximum an hour and 30 minutes. So I'll be answering questions and responding to people's questions here. And if you want to come up on the stage and add value to the conversation, you can do that as well. So first I'll have Metro up here because bro is a legend. Bro.
Yo, what's good, bro?
First of all, I want to just say thank you for taking time out of your day to go and like make the notes on this lecture and do that for free and just on your own time. I want to thank you for that.
No, of course, bro. If anything benefits me, it benefits all of y'all. Like, I just want the benefit for everyone, bro.
That's amazing.
If we all prosper, that's amazing. Trust me.
All right, bro.
Like,
so
I'll gladly put like the work in for all of y'all to benefit.
That's love, bro. But
of course.
But yeah, so yeah, what do you want to share?
Say? No, I want to have like one thing set out straight. All these points, like that you mentioned, they're amazing, but you guys have to put into action. Trust me, you can read all these books, all these like. If you don't put into action, trust me, none of this will be implemented. Like this is the one thing I struggled with for like the longest time. I would not put anything into action. I knew all these little tricks, and I would just like skip right over them. like putting this stuff into action was like the hardest step. But other than that, this is amazing. You covered pretty much everything syntax.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah. Yo, I'm gonna have to like run off real quick. I'm glad you got me on pretty early. I have to go cook. It's kind of late here. But
Honor.
yeah, no, I posted earlier like the whole like the whole summary of like the main points that happen and like like the in-depth version of them of like the book on Atomic Habits, and like I posted them here and I sent them to you like in the DMs, and I'll post it here again. So
Word.
yeah, I'll catch y'all later, bro.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Peace, late guys.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's actually so fucking kind, bro. Doing this for everyone here. But yeah, that entire Notion site, it'll be in the description of this video or this like recorded video. But yeah, no, this guy is a fucking legend, bro. But yeah, so actionable, like, take, yes, as you were saying, the most important thing is taking actionable steps to actually, like, if you can do all of these things, you can like create your habit tracker. You need to actually not creating the habit tracker is an actionable step, but you can listen to this, and you can listen to as many self-improvement videos and read as many books as you want to. Yes, it has an impact on your life. However, if you don't put in the work, you're not going to get a result. It's cause and effect. If you don't put in a physical action, or if you don't start writing something or typing something out, you're not going to see the desired effect. All right. But yeah, can we get some Adonises or Adonis emote, or what's it called? Adonises in the chat for my boy Metro, cause holy shit, that guy's so fucking sick, bro. Alrighty, cabbage, cause bro's on his shit. How you doing, bro?
Oh, hey there.
How's it, bro?
I'm doing great, bro. Let me turn this on my phone right now. Let me hold on, I'm trying to fix this. Yeah, okay. All right, perfect. So I got a couple notes here today. But yeah, I want to share. Yeah, I think what you said was amazing. You got like pretty much everything you need to know. Like I was taking notes, like everything you need to know. Syntax said. You look at Metro's notes, make your own notes. Like remember, use recall. Like recall what he said, and like write it down. So yeah, that's like amazing. Thank you. So yeah, what I wanted to say is okay. So like Metro was saying, I heavily struggle with putting in the work, actually taking the action. And I've taken a lot of action, but when I get into like a slump, I'll be productive for a couple weeks and I'll get in a slump. Usually what'll happen is I'll burn out, and it's all the mental health. Like Hamza has been saying, like Hamza, syntax, like meditation, journaling. These are the most important habits, I'd say. Because if you don't have your mental health, like you can't do anything else. So like even today I journal like pages and pages like about my addictions, and it was really helpful. Like it got me out of a rut, or temporarily, made my day a lot better. So what I want to say to all of you right now, if you have a journal or any kind of paper and a pencil nearby, you grab it, get it ready, and once you're finished listening here, go and start journaling immediately. Journal about whatever you need to. If your addictions, whatever addictions you have, if you're addicted to porn, like many of us here have been, you start, journal about why do you need that addiction? Why? Just journal about, get all your thoughts on paper. It's like therapy, but it's free. You get to do it on your own. And it kind of like, it helps you like build like, what's the reason that you're gonna do any of this? Because we can give you all of the tools, like tell you this is what you need to do. You need to journal, you need to exercise, and learn and read these books. But if you don't put in the work, it doesn't mean anything. If you don't have a reason why you want to do it, it's not gonna matter. You're gonna go back to doing everything you were doing before once this lecture is over. So find your reason. Find your reason why, and get that through journaling. Like, syntax. You want to say something?
Oh no, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, like if as you were talking about, like if you don't actually put the steps in and put the work in, nothing you do or learn matters. If you don't have a reason why you're doing the habit, what's it gonna change in your life in the future? Find your why and start implementing actionable steps. And you actually took my idea. I was like later in the lecture, I was about to say like start like pull out like a pen and paper and start like making a habit tracker right now, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. All right, that's sick. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Like, put in the work, do your meditation to like increase your mindfulness. But yeah, do the journaling. Find your reason why you want to do that.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say.
Appreciate it, bro.
All right, no problem, man. Thank you for having me up here.
No problem. It's always great to have another brother on self improvement who knows what they're talking about and brings value to the server.
Yeah, man, it's fine. All right, I think Okay, let me get down the stage now.
All right, bro. Cabbage is so fucking sick, bro. He knows what he's talking about, and he's only in grade 10, bro. He's like I think he's 16 right now. He's pretty young as well. Like he knows what he's talking about. It's amazing to see. But as Adonis was saying, how do you journal effectively, and what should you include and leave behind? I'd say like when you journal, don't really like journal about like what you did throughout the day unless you find that useful. Like doing something like journaling about a mistake you made can be fine, but don't include like, oh, I did this today. I had fun. I went to the park and I played basketball. Talk about mistakes you made. Include introspection. So ask yourself reasons as to why you did certain actions. Journal about your bad habits, etc. And the snowball effect, Hamza fanboy, is basically it's called the snowball effect or the compound effect. Basically, actually, it'd be better to show a graph of this, but like basically, what you think is gonna happen is you think you're gonna get linear gains. But what the snowball effect states is that you start really low, like barely improve yourself over a period of time, and then over time it compounds up. So instead of going slowly, like in a straight line, y equals mx plus b line, it'll be just a parabolic curve almost, or just half of the parabolic curve. So it'll start really slow, and then it'll start going really fast up, and that's the compound effect slash snowball effect. But let's see. Did you tell about scheduling whatever you're planning to make a habit on and just starting it? I mean, scheduling, like, yeah, like if you plan out your day and say, I'm going to do meditation at 4 p.m. in my room, or just creating a daily planner of what you're doing, it'll make it a lot easier to start the habit. Okay. Fucking, I love cabbage, bro. Legend. Let's see. I'm gonna answer Aditya's question, and then I'll get another person up here. Whenever I start a habit and do it for like 4 to 5 days, then there's sometimes, for some external reasons, I can't do it for the 6th day or the 7th day. Almost all the times I end up not continuing it on the 8th day. Even when I take a break in between my workouts, half the time I end up extending the break day to 2 to 3 days instead of continuing with my habit right after the pause. How do I stop myself from doing this? How do you? I mean, look, all the steps that I detailed about atomic habits, like all the cheat sheet, that can help you build a habit. But maintaining the habit, it really comes down to how bad you want it. That's why you need your why. Why are you improving yourself? What are you striving for? Do you want to be the best you can be? Do you want to be better than others? Do you want to like get a specific job? You need your why. And that can serve as your motivation. Otherwise, building your discipline to continue that habit is another way to do that, and your willpower. But yeah, as Metro said, the habit is the car, and the why is the fuel for your car. That's actually a really good analogy. I like that. Let's see. Who's next to get on the stage? Let's take let's take a Jeffrey. Let's take XVV because I know he had some good stuff to say last time. How you doing, bro?
So around 2018, 2019, around that time period, I started my self-improvement journey. This was before I came across Hamza and his YouTube channel, and I had a very extreme porn addiction, and I had a very like bad habit of procrastinating about actions that I would want to take in my life and things that I would want to do. And there were certain people that I would want to talk to, females that have caught my eye, but I was too afraid to go up and talk to them because I felt as if I would make them very uncomfortable around me. I felt like because I watched so much porn and masturbated so much on a day-to-day basis that I would be considered a weirdo. And I think that's why I stopped, like, why telling myself that porn is not good for me. It makes it hard for me to go up to people and communicate with them because I felt as if it would make me outlawed and like seen as a creep because someone that watches porn is trying to go up to somebody and talk to them, and that would make them uncomfortable because they would probably feel like you just want to talk to them to have sex with them. And at some point, my addiction to porn died down, and how often I masturbated also died down. And I also drank a lot of sugar. So I would say like my ability to be active and the things that I would do, like it would be very hard for me because I barely ate anything healthy. I wasn't in good shape, and I didn't know where to start. So I had no order, I had no organization of my life, and I didn't know what to do with myself. But eventually, I started to grow confidence when I started to learn how to communicate with people and socialize. And that helped me build confidence. And I started to realize that socializing isn't as hard as it seems once you start removing porn and masturbation from your life. And about procrastination, procrastination is a very like bad habit because it can keep you from doing certain things that are very important, especially when it comes to school, homework, studying for tests. Procrastination will get in the way of those things, and it will affect how you do those things, and it makes you unmotivated. And even when you feel like you can just go head into your studies and you feel like you can just do it, once you start it, you don't have any motivation to do so because you spent so much time procrastinating instead of just doing it. Do not overthink about what you want to do in life. Do not overthink it. Do not like overdo anything because that'll only make you less motivated to do those things once you actually start it. Everything takes a lot of time. You cannot rush the process of building muscle or taking away a bad habit out of your schedule and learning how to conserve your time more proficiently and learning how to use your time to do better things. It's a very slow process. You cannot immediately end a bad habit out of nowhere by telling yourself that. It takes time because you spent so many years doing that bad habit. You spent so many years doing the same thing that once you try to do something new, it's difficult because you haven't built muscle memory. You aren't familiar with that type of stuff. So at some point, I started to socialize with more females, and I started to learn that females aren't really everything. You shouldn't be doing stuff to appeal more to females. Even if you feel like it's important, it's really not. Everything that you're doing, you should do it for yourself first. Prioritize your needs and wants before you go around trying to impress other people or trying to create a persona. You need to build yourself first before you like find a way to put on an image for somebody else. You cannot fake it till you make it, as Hamza said in one of his videos. Like, faking it till you make it works like 10% of the time. You cannot fake confidence. You cannot fake anything. It's very hard to fake, you know, it's very hard to fake confidence. And I'm not very good at putting things into words, and I'm trying to work on that right now by coming up on the stage and talking to all of you about how I started my self-improvement. I'm not very good at talking and explaining myself. But thank you, Syntax, for letting me come up on the stage. I appreciate it. And this makes me more confident in talking publicly about my self-improvement.
Well, what I can say is your speaking ability is very, very good. You underestimate how good your speaking ability is. Like, I don't know if you're anxious right now, or your like heart is beating really fast, but what I can say is just by hearing you, your speaking ability is far greater than you actually think it is.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to say thank you for having the balls to come up here, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other questions or anything else you'd like to share?
Something I would like to share is you need to believe in yourself in order to accomplish certain things. You need to fully believe in yourself. Even if you don't have confidence, you need to
Bars,
believe
bro,
in yourself. You
bars.
need to tell yourself every day, wake up in the morning, build a very good habit of like reaffirmations, learning to tell yourself that you can do this. No matter how you feel, you can do anything that you put your mind to as long as you try your hardest. You need to put in the work in order to make things happen. Nothing comes overnight, and you need to put in the work constantly, every day. Do not fall off track. Do not lose your balance in life. You need to keep going whether or not you feel like you're going to fail. Do not be afraid to fail. We are human, and failing is normal. And failing will only teach you how to succeed in life. You will learn every time you fail. The more you fail, the more you know. Thank you, Syntax.
Thank you, XVV, bro. Fucking legend.
Have an amazing day.
You too, bro.
Stay blessed.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, honestly, he's completely right. Humans grow from our failures. If you never fail, you never learn about your mistakes. You when you make a mistake and you like fail at something, you're never gonna make that mistake again unless you're not paying attention or you're not conscious of your behaviors. But usually, when you make a mistake and you really internalize that mistake, you journal about that mistake, you're never gonna make it again. And one thing I liked that he said was these results. It's not an overnight thing. It's a journey. It doesn't come. You do meditation one day, and the next day you get like your life is transformed. You have $1 million in your bank account. It's a whole journey to that like final result. But can we just get again some Adonises for SVV? Because holy shit, this guy's a fucking G, bro. All right, and I know Adonis had a message. Let me scroll up to it. So Adonis asks, are negative emotions a better form of motivation than positive ones? Now, look, negative emotions to motivate you, they only really work in the short term. How and okay, it works in the short term because in the long term, having the resentment or hatred or whatever towards someone or something isn't healthy. I say that is worse for your overall health and whatever you're trying to do than it would be to or like motivate yourself with positive emotions. If you're working out and you're thinking about like, oh, I'm gonna crush people's heads and something, that's definitely gonna impact your mental health in the long term. And we're all about getting rid of instant gratification here, or at least reducing it. So if you go in and do it for one workout, maybe like once every month, I don't think that's a terrible thing. It can get rid of some built up stress, but the long term solution here is to build uh, positive emotions to fuel yourself and build that motivation to do better. It's better for your mental health. It's better for long term success. Increases gratitude. It just happiness, and I know we all want to be happy. So motivate yourself with positivity rather than negativity. In the most part, I know sometimes it's good to like get the anger out, like while exercising or doing something. But again, that's a short term thing. That's good. You're gonna burn out if you're using that as your fuel. It's like using something like propane as your fuel. You only have a limited supply of that, while you have a massive pile of wood that'll last an eternity compared to your like minimal fuel. It creates a big spark. Like if you pour something like alcohol on a fire, it creates a big burst of fire, but that's short. It goes up and then it goes down. While your wood, it sustains the fire and keeps it going for a longer period of time. Okay, let me get Victory. Then we'll get Warren. How you doing,
What's
bro?
up, yo? So yeah, I pretty much have like a long list or essay of stuff I'd like to talk about habits. So I'll pretty much like speed run it right now. So I'll start off with what are habits and how you can use them. So habits should be used as a building block, as building blocks. You shouldn't just have like habits. Habits shouldn't be your main purpose in life. Of course, like your habits, you should use your habits to achieve your purpose. And I'll say this, habits will build a bridge to nowhere if you don't have a purpose. So your habits they're like your tools to achieving your purpose. You should like instill them into your everyday life. They should be a part of what you do every day. If you have time to be on your phone if you have time to be on your phone every day, or if you have time to indulge in gratification every day, you have time to work on your habits. So everyone must work on cementing these habits, whether if this is writing them down or writing them down on a piece of paper, writing them down on a wall. Somewhere you'll see them, somewhere you'll go back to see them like every single day. And as Syntax and other people said before, accountability. Self-improving communities, just like this one, will help you to stay on your habits. But more importantly, you should find a small group of people to have a community with who will keep you accountable, who will keep you on your habits. So you can also like as Syntax was saying, one of the lads on the community, Axel, set up a group for us where we pretty much post down our long-term goals and our short-term ones. So you should have these goals written out for you and for others to see. So you'll have more motivation to achieve these goals. Motivation. So obviously you shouldn't obsess about good habits. If you fail, if you don't hit your habits on one day specifically, you should know it's not the end of the world. You should just know that you shouldn't just be complacent. You should obviously jump back onto your habits as soon as you get the next possible chance and apply what you learn from these habits into practical applications. So obviously meditating can teach you patience, it can teach you how to be calm in stressful situations. You shouldn't just have these like backed up in your pocket. You should use them in real life scenarios, which will be very, very important. And you should also not have lofty expectations when it comes to these habits. Obviously, like what Syntax was saying before, like these habits will not change your life overnight. Like I see many people thinking, criticizing these habits and criticizing Hamza about saying, like these habits, they say that, oh, these habits aren't going to get us any girls, they're not going to get us any pussy. That is not the goal of these habits. These habits are to instill onto you, to teach you basic principles, basic practices that will help you improve your everyday life, whether that involves going into a business venture, achieving your goals as becoming a professional athlete, stuff like that. That's what these habits are for. They're not just for getting pussy, getting girls. That's not the purpose of these habits. So I'll move on to negative emotions. Like Syntax was saying before, negative emotions are just temporary fuel. Like they will limit you severely if you use them as your primary motivation for working hard. So you should also learn from your failures. You shouldn't dwell on them too much. You should be always ready to bounce back. You shouldn't make impressing other people your mandatory like goal for completing your habits. This will only limit you and will not allow you to reach your full potential. You should also learn to knock out your habits every single day early on, or you should schedule them especially, because obviously most of us have busy schedules. We're young guys, so most of us have free time, but a lot of times, sometimes some family business might come up, or sometimes we're just busy studying for the next exam. So we should know how to complete our habits. We should put separate time out of our day to complete these habits. Also, I want to add your habit tracker, the stuff that literally people use to get more access into this Discord. I encourage everyone who has a Jeffrey role to get onto your habit tracker. It's a wonderful piece of apparatus. It will teach you discipline. It will keep you alert. It will keep you motivated. You'll want to keep on checking on it every single time you're progressing through the day. You'll want to complete all the habits you list down there. So please go into hashtag how to join the cults and get that done, or starting journaling, stuff like that. Becoming a cult member, yeah. So pretty much get onto that, and it'll help you achieve your habits even more. And also, I'm going to be a bit anecdotal with this next point. You want to learn how to overcome your circumstances. You have more control than you think, and these habits will pretty much teach you that you have more control than you think. So in my scenario, I moved to the UK from Ireland 1 week ago. So of course I haven't been able to keep up with my habits. I was sleeping in a hotel for about 3 days, so that didn't have a gym. So obviously I couldn't get exercise in. I didn't know the area all that well, so obviously I couldn't go around for runs. So I'll pretty much just say that my main goal, I want to be an athlete. I want to go to the Olympics. I want to represent my country, stuff like that. So these habits, I'm using them as building blocks to achieve that goal. But obviously, at the moment, in my current circumstance, like things have improved as of now, but it was hard a few days ago. But I pretty much done what I could do. Like I done basic stretches. If you have pretty much any ample amount of space, you can do stretches. You can journal. You can write down a habit tracker. You can meditate. If you have time to be on social media for around like 1 hour, binging stuff like that, you have time to meditate. So you should put out some time in your day to get these habits done. And I'll add on to that point, you should produce fruits from your labor. If you're putting in all this work into your habits, you want to see end results. You want to get out there onto the field. You want to put the things you learn from self-improvement, the things you learn from following your habits, you want to apply those into the real world. And then you see the true results of these habits. You won't just see them as an inconvenience. They're not an inconvenience. They will help you a lot. And you have to manage your time with these habits as well. Don't let these habits absorb you. Don't, because meditating for 3 hours, it will help you, but obviously your time is better spent elsewhere. You want to manage all of this in moderation. Same goes for pretty much everything in self-improvement. You still want to be social. You don't want to isolate yourself from society. That's not really a good play. You want to get out there. You want to level up in the real world. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say on this topic.
Damn, bro, that was really well thought out, and it covered quite a lot of information that I think we all needed to hear. So, but like, there's two things that I wanted to add on there. So,
Yeah.
one thing when you were talking about how people have busy schedules, just use or like you're going through exams or something, just use the mentality of just showing up. Just do
Yeah.
enough so that you can or get the tick on your habit track. You don't have to do meditation for your like 3 hours if or like you're doing it for 20 minutes usually. Cut it back down to like 5 minutes if you need to, if you're going through a very stressful time or you're like really busy at the moment. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
the like you don't have to like go through and do your habits and make it take like 4 hours of your day if you're busy. If you're busy, obviously you need to prioritize what you're doing. So just reduce the amount of time you're spending on these habits and start
Yeah.
them in the morning when you like wake up. When you wake up, straight away, go into your gratitude journal. Go into your regular journaling. Go into meditation. And then one
There's
okay, go for it.
Go ahead. Oh, all right. There's one point I want to also like just make real quick. It's about self-focus. Like before, you were talking about we shouldn't like admire people we see on social media. We shouldn't compare ourselves to them because that's pretty much toxic comparison. Like you don't know what they went through. They're on their own journey. You're on yours. Pretty much. Like it's like I can use another anecdote here. Like I do sprinting, for example. When I go onto the track, when I start a race, I focus on myself. Depending on the distance of it, something long like 400 meter, it's detrimental to like look at other people, to like look to your side and focus on what they're doing. You have your own game plan, and you have to stick to that game plan. So don't get hasty, don't get impatient, don't think about only if I was like him. I wish I envy him. Don't fill yourself with thoughts like that. You should just stick to your own game plan. When you're going down the home straight of the track, you should just keep to yourself. If other people are pulling away from you, you should just keep to your own pace. If other people are like falling behind you, you should keep to your own pace as well. Put yourself as the center, as your focus. So yeah, that's pretty much yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely true, man. Like focusing on yourself is key, especially while you're doing something. I mean, I don't think having a little bit of competition is bad, but the way people compare themselves is they compare these people that are in the top 1% of people who are like way above them and way ahead of everyone. Like you're comparing yourself to like some 19-year-old who's like a millionaire. But what's the point of doing that? The only thing that's going to do is make you feel worse about yourself. If you're going to engage in social comparison, which again, it's natural, it happens to us, and I think you can use it as like motivation. Compare yourself to someone who is on your journey, like in a similar spot or even slightly above or below you. If someone's if like for example, I'm racing my friend to squatting 250. Now we're both in
Yeah.
similar stages of our exercise journey, and I'm using that motivation of trying to beat him as fuel to get better. Like I want to be better than other people. And you guys might think that's egotistical, but that's human nature. We are meant to compare each other. That's how we think, that's how we live. But the thing is, it's not healthy when you compare yourself to someone who is 30 times better than you. There's no point in doing that. If you are going to
Yeah.
compare yourself to someone who is similar on your level.
Also, one last thing I'd like to add. I pretty much want to talk about like the mental health aspect of having these habits and the mental health aspect of completing these habits. Like completing them will give you a small boost of like motivation. You'll feel good about yourself. I'm thinking about hosting a mental health lecture myself since I'm very like knowledgeable on the topic. But I'll keep it short here and say that doing these things will keep you more motivated. They'll give you an extra reason to get out of bed every single day. They'll keep you in good spirits and they keep you like high. They keep you like highly motivated, highly good feeling. Like you'd want to put in the work,
Mm-hmm.
and you feel especially great. You'll feel well when you complete these habits. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
I like that, man. Thank you for coming up here, bro. It's always a pleasure to have you, and you always spit knowledge for us.
Yep, thanks, bro.
Take care, man. Appreciate you
Can
always.
can you move me down from the stage?
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah, thanks.
Let's get some Adonises in the chat again, bro. Cause Victory, bro, he's on his grind. He knows what he wants to do. He uses all these habits as a tool for success. He takes the actionable steps. He provides value to the rest of us. God damn, what a legend, man. I was gonna add on to something. One thing I can say is okay. So sorry, two things that I'm gonna say. People who meditate for 3 hours, there's like a certain amount of benefit you get for doing like 20 minutes of meditation, but you get to a certain point where it's not actually gonna help you as much doing 20 more minutes or increasing to 40 minutes. There's a certain level of like how much it can help you when you go past a certain point. Like it's like something like exercise, right? Like the average is like 10 to 20 sets. Like that's the most like or the best to maximize muscle group or muscle growth for a certain muscle, or I think it's for a certain movement pattern, but I don't remember like the specifics here, but you get the point. But going past something like 15 sets or even 18 sets is going to provide minimal benefit for the amount of recovery cost it will like cost you. Like you can increase something else in your life or take that time you would spend on those sets and put that into something else that will have a bigger return on investment than going up to like something like 20 sets per week. So make sure you like again, like that's one thing. The second thing is win the race that you're in. I know Hamza has a video on this. He talks about not comparing yourself to people who are racing on the Olympics. Like obviously this is a metaphor, but like people on the journey that are like 10 years into self-improvement. Don't compare yourself to those people. You're not in the race with them. You're in the race with, say, example, if you're an average person, you do not do any self improvement habits. Win the race with the average people beside you. What does that mean? You do a single push up, you're winning the race. You get on these habits, you're winning the race. And then you build up to the point where you're on this stage where you're racing against people who are on self improvement. And you just use progressive overload with these habits to get better than those people. And obviously you get to a point where improving those habits doesn't have a great return on investment to get better than the other self-improvement people who have done all the stuff you've done. So you start branching out into other things. Win the race that you're in right now and then move on. Don't and like you can use that as motivation. Compare yourself to the people you're in the race with. Not with the people who are in the Olympics 20 years into self-improvement who are millionaires. There's no point in doing that. If you're on the high school level, why are you comparing yourself to an Olympian? It makes no sense. So that's my 2 cents on that. But let's see, how long are we into this? 1 hour 18 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna answer a couple questions. I'm gonna have one more person. I think Warren raised his hand, and it's always great to have Warren up here. It's actual G. So I'll get him up here, and then we'll wrap it up with a few more questions, and I will probably play basketball. It's a great sport. But currently, Jeffrey asked, is wanting to be more successful than my past bullies a negative motivation? Yes and no. I feel like using that in the okay, actually I'd say it's more negative than positive. But like, look, you're using like I want to be better than that person as motivation for your journey. That can work in the short term, that can get you started. But you want to build better reasons and not just reasons such as I want to be better than XYZ. Use that in conjunction with a positive motivator. And those will carry you forward better than just using that as a complete motivator. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. And let's see, hold on. I know one more person asked a question. I have a difficulty making meditation a habit. I don't find it very enjoyable. Can you suggest something? Well, I know the Medito app. Well, first of all, I recommend getting the Medito app. It can help build the habit of just meditation itself. But the app has a lot of different types of meditations. So experiment. Maybe you like meditating where you're fully aware of your body and you're just paying attention to the outside sounds. Maybe you like meditating, like gratitude meditation, mantra meditation. Maybe you just like paying attention to the breath. There are different types of meditations that can be different and appealing to you, but you have to experiment with them. Also, I can say that reducing your instant gratification overall will allow you to enjoy meditation more. And yeah, because like, look, if you're not gonna want to sit still if you are addicted to like your phone. You're gonna prefer your phone over meditation. All right, we should transition into confidence and self-belief, and if not, that should be the next topic of the next lecture. I feel like these topics they kind of go under Miles's last lecture where he talked about mindset, or 2 lectures ago he talked about mindset, and I feel like that can kind of go into it, but yeah, no, I think I will save that for another lecture if you guys are interested in that, because there's a lot we can say about that in general. So yep. What else? Could you talk about finding your purpose? Because I found a purpose a week ago after journaling, but it doesn't really matter to me now. I mean, honestly, you can't, like, I don't really have my purpose either. You have to take it day by day. Eventually, you'll find it. It's not something you just be like, oh, I found it. You know? Take time. Don't sit on your phone the whole day. If you're constantly drowning out all your thoughts, you're not going to know what your passion is. I know, again, Miles had a lecture on passion. I don't know if it's like recorded. I don't remember, but if it is, I'll link the YouTube channel later today, and you can watch that lecture. But if not, just send me a DM, and then I will send you the notes I took on that lecture. Let's see. Let me catch up to all the questions. Let's see. Appreciate it, Syntax 64. Okay, I'm gonna get Warren. I invited you up, bro.
Hello.
How you doing, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty sick, man.
Alright. Right. So I'm gonna be talking about how my habits has actually just genuinely changed my life. Like to a lot of people, when they hear about these habits and how it can change one's life, some might be there go like, yeah, right, bro. Yeah, right, bro. That it actually changed your life. It's not doing anything for me. But like I'm being dead ass serious. It really fucking helped me. So let me take you back to when I used to be in university at the age of 18. I was depressed. I had narcissistic friends surrounding me. I was trying to do well in uni. I also had a horrible sleep problem that caused massive fatigue. And, just a combination of all things. I started binge eating again. I started having horrible sleeps, even worse because of, more weight. There was more weight around my neck, so I couldn't properly breathe through sleep. And just to say, like, university wasn't great for me. I absolutely hated doing art and graphic design. I hated the friends I was hanging out with, and I hated myself at some point. And it felt like every day was like just another day to me. I didn't do much. I just kind of was going with the day. I dropped out of university, and I moved back with my parents. And this is where we kind of start off the story of when I actually start taking actions to fixing my life. So in January, the start of the year, I pretty much was constantly sleeping at the wrong times. I'd be staying up until like 4 a.m. and going to sleep and then waking up around like 3 p.m. Rinse and repeat. I didn't have a job as well, and I was getting money from Universal Basic Income, which is like a benefit thing here in the UK. And I hated the fact that I was getting money from the government because it meant that I wasn't sustaining myself whatsoever. It meant that someone else was helping me, and I just hated that. To top it all off, I would ask money from my mum here and there when I wanted to buy something or I need to pay off something like my phone bills or something like that. And I just fucking hated it. Like my mum wanted to support me as much as she wanted to. Like she's a very nice woman, but I didn't want to put that burden on her. So I started to really look into how am I going to fix my life. And one of the first things I started doing was going for a walk in the forest. Because I read somewhere that if you go to, be in nature, just walking around, having no destination, just going there, walking around, that my mindset would change. And I did this for about a week and it felt like nothing had changed. And I was like, well, what's the fucking point? But I kept doing it. I kept walking in the forest early in the morning. I would force myself to wake up at 6 a.m. and start walking into the forest. And this actually is one of the reasons why I actually fixed my sleep. It actually fixed my sleep. I didn't even know it fixed my sleep. I was just forcing myself to wake up and go to the forest because I was like, I'd rather go early in the morning because I don't want to fucking deal with people with dogs that are not on leashes because when they see me walking or running, they think I'm playing with them when really I just want to listen to my music and be at peace, And I started to sleep properly. So I slept around like 10 until 6. So I was getting like a good amount of sleep. And I started being a lot more happier, I started also just like trying to do some body weight exercises as well. I'd force myself to at least do something. I started to try and eat healthy as well. My mom would buy food from the shops and she would, just buy general stuff. And I would try and track all my calories. So I was building up these habits essentially. And these habits, they were just so damn small. It felt like nothing to me. But it was so ingrained in me that I should be doing this every single day, not because I had a goal to do something, but more like I've decided to do this one thing, therefore I'm going to do it. And over time, it had helped me with so many things. In fact, it had helped me getting a job. And here's the thing, I've relied on freelance graphic design for money, mainly because I can't get a proper job in the real world. I've always found it difficult. I don't know why. I had no idea. It's not like I'm bad. It's not like I am shit at a job. Anytime I got a job, it was always temporary work. It was never full time. So I applied to this restaurant called Five Guys, and I got the job, and it was horrible. It was pain. They made me do a lot of heavy lifting. They made me carry sacks of potatoes, which like weighed around 25 kilos per bag, and make me go all the way upstairs, 3 flights of stairs. And I fucking hated it. They only did this to me because I looked strong, which is essentially to say that because I was quite big, I'm quite like tall as well, like 5'10". So it was like, oh yeah, this guy can do a lot of heavy lifting. He can do a lot of heavy stuff. I also have to fry the chips as well. So there's these like 2 baskets and they're full of fucking like uncooked potato fries. And I have to constantly shake them about. And that's like, it weighs a fuck ton. And I have to constantly do this. And I would always feel like my body was being battered. But in the end, now it has given me a reason to go back to the gym. The walking to the forest has cleared my mind. I'm no longer depressed anymore because of this. I picked up meditation and gratitude journaling, and it has really helped with my mental health because I genuinely was really depressed. I would cry sometimes. I would feel like the world was genuinely being fucking unfair to me, that everyone who was in my life just wanted to wreck with me. And I kept doing these habits because I knew at some point things will get better. I didn't do this because I wanted something out of it, in like something materialistic, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be rich one day. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna have a girlfriend or whatever. I just did this because I was like, at some point, my life will get better because I'm doing the right thing. And now I'm pretty solid. Obviously, this week I've got the flu, so I'm making sure I stay at home and get as much rest and drink as much water as I can. But after this week, like next week, I'm gonna go back to the gym. I'm gonna start fucking hitting the gym really hard, and I'm obviously gonna go back to work, resuming all of my habits. But essentially, this whole story boils down to just take small little steps. I started with just walking to the forest, and that was it. I would do my usual shit. I would go home, play on my PC, play with my friends until like late hours of the night. And then that when I started to actually tell my friends, you know what, I'm decided I want to go to sleep at 10. That's when, I started to have a proper sleep schedule. It started off with that, and now look at me. I've got a job now. It pays me about £1,000 per month. Something I never have ever gotten from any job ever. And I'm saving up all this money. I've saved up a shit ton of money just because I go to work and I just kind of get it done. And it's all these habits are so ingrained in me. It's something that I just do. I don't even think about it. I just go and do it now. Nothing's a chore anymore. With the gym, I used to have genuine battles with myself in my mind, saying, "Oh, I should be going to the gym. You know what? I can just do my chest workout tomorrow. Then I can follow on with the rest." No, I just kind of say, "No, fuck that. We need to go to the gym. Let's go to the gym. We need to show up." And it's a thing of you just need to take small little steps so that you can make big changes in your life, because no one ever has become something great by doing something big to begin with. No, everyone has done something small and then they work their way up and now they're at the positions they are at. So genuinely actually look at your habits and try and do them. Just at least show up at your habits, because if you show up, you've already done more than what most people are fucking capable of doing. Waking up early in the morning, most people don't want to fucking wake up early in the morning. Going to bed at the right time, most people will stay up on their phones until fucking 4 a.m. and then complain that they barely got any sleep, and start blaming it on some other bullshit. If you're doing these habits, you are like literally in like the top percentage of people who are actually getting their shit together than the average. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say.
Facts. Like how many people in the population are actually like doing habits like meditation and people like who are actually on self-improvement? You're like, just by starting, you're already like in the upper echelons of society, and at that point you're facing Jeffries. Like 80% of the population is basically Jeffries. By doing these self-improvement habits, you're in the lower 20% of the population, just like that. And then obviously there's many other things that play into it, but just by starting and just by continuing your journey, you'll easily be able to get into the upper reaches of society.
No, definitely. It's just getting started. Like, I used to be that guy who was like, I don't believe any of this will fucking work. I used to think meditation was fucking gay when I was like 18. I used to say meditation is for pussies. Who the fuck meditates? But look at me now. I'm meditating like 5 minutes per day, and I feel great. So like, just get started. Actually get started, and you'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's the actionable steps that you need to take to improve, and that's one of the reasons I really like Hamza's videos, because he always prompts you to take action in his videos. It's amazing, because that's the only way you improve. If you don't take actionable steps and actually implement the things into your life, you're not doing anything. You're basically just, if you're watching self-improvement and you're not applying these concepts, it's basically just watching another YouTube video. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Well, let me see. Hour 30 minutes. Well, I'm gonna say I'll answer questions for about 15 minutes, and then I will have to leave, unfortunately.
I'll move back to the audience.
All right. Thanks for coming up here, bro.
That's that.
Amazing. Let's get some Adonises in the chat again, because Warren's really on his shit. This guy's sick. Well, I really want to say that I appreciate you guys for coming out here, and so many people being up here like and talking about their journey. and just having the balls to come up here. Because, like, look, obviously over time, you're gonna build up confidence to come up here, but like just to initially start and be able to come up here, it's actually sick. But yeah, I mean, just drop questions now in the chat. Like, I'll be answering questions for a little bit, and then unfortunately, this lecture will come to an end. But one thing I can say is, thank you guys for coming out here and taking your time to just listen to me talk. Like, I think at one point we had 100 people in here. It's amazing that you guys find value in what I'm saying. Grateful for you guys. But let's get into the questions. How do you balance commuting to university, the social life, and the self-improvement life? I think doing your self-improvement habits earlier in the day and just getting them over with so you can like do the rest of your like life in general is a great way to like balance it out. Because if you finish all of your meditation, your journaling, when you wake up and you're in the morning done, it'll be easier to move on and continue throughout the day to get rid of the other things. I feel like, I know Hamza has a video he posted recently about balancing these things. And look, you're not going to be socializing and doing homework the entire day. So the times that you're off from those things, like just take that time to improve yourself. You don't have to spend the entire day socializing and doing homework. I know you're going to take some time to just relax with some meditation, take your mind off things by journaling, get that post-journal clarity, if you know what I mean. How to do something like study when you have no interest in it. Oh, honestly, I struggle with this too, like finding motivation to continue studying something like math or continue studying something that I don't enjoy. It's tough, but what I found helped me was recognizing like this is necessary if I want to reach where I want to go. I need this math mark to be high if I want to get into this university with like, or like a specific program or whatever. This is part of my journey, so I have to stick it through. It's working towards your passion or whatever your dream job is. It's part of that process. It's part of the journey to get there. Just recognizing that and keeping that in your mind is something that can help you like stay wanting to, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah. Let's see, does school matter? Depends where you want to go in life. If you want, I'd say finish high school first and foremost. Just at least minimum finish high school. But again, yeah, it depends. If you want to go into something like medicine, you need college to get into medicine. So it really depends where you want to go. If you want to start a business, you don't need school at all. So yeah. When did you start meditating? Let's see. Let's see. My habit tracker is here. So one page is 31 days, and I have about close to 2 pages done. So I think about 60 days of meditation. So 60 days ago, I started meditating, approximately. How do you get over a crush that treated you like shit? Well, bro, like there's a lot of girls out there. You need to recognize that there's not just one girl for you. Just move past that. Any valuable lessons you learned after getting a black belt? Well, look, I learned that like life is a journey. First of all, that's the most important thing I think I learned. After, like, look, even after getting a black belt or reaching that stage, there's still so much more to learn. When you're a black belt, yes, you've mastered the katas, you've mastered all that, but there's so much more. There's still the hidden movements of the kata that you use to actually fight. There is, like, basically when you're a black belt, you become a white belt again, because there's so much more to learn once you get that black belt. The second most important thing that I learned was, let's see, what's it called? That the body can do so much more than we actually think, and the mind is the biggest limiting factor. once I reached the point where I was doing my last push-up, I felt like I could go forever after I finished that. It's all in your mind. It's a mindset. I like at home, if I'm in my room, I'm not gonna be able to do like 500 push-ups straight. But in that room, when I'm struggling and it's like I'm reaching to like complete this step of my life, I have so much more ability to reach that goal. You have much more physical capability than you actually perceive. It's all in your head. What is more important, social life or self-improvement? Again, it's a balance, right? Because we're social creatures. We need social, like a social life to function normally. It's important for your mental health. It's important to grow with people and take value from other people and give value to other people. So I feel like both are equally as important. Let's see. I fail to focus and often get distracted, even though I try my best and I have a really short temper. Any advice? Again, meditation will, first of all, it'll reduce the amount of distraction you have. It'll improve your focus. As for temper, I feel like people who get angry easily often have something that happened to them in their younger, like when they were younger. So it can be your like family who like did something, or like you didn't get your way or something. Journal about this. You need to be very introspective when this happens, and you need to like look deep within yourself to understand the reason why that's happening to you. Let's see. Yeah, guys. Any of you, if you're not subscribed to Hamza, I mean, I think we should all be, if we're in this Discord server, unless there's some randoms who just saw the lecture running. But go subscribe to Hamza. This guy has infinitely more value than any of us can provide. Actually, I don't know if that's true, but he has a lot of value to provide in his videos. He prompts you to take the actionable steps. He's a gold mine. Johnny, unfortunately, I'm probably not gonna take anyone onto the stage anymore because I'm gonna go very soon, and I'm just answering questions right now. So if you have any questions or if you wanted to say something, just post it in the chat, and if you want me to, I'll get back to you. Let's see. Where I live, there's nobody on self-improvement, and you can't even explain it to them. How's someone supposed to be social then if you are talking with Jeffries? Look, you don't have to be talking with people on self-improvement only. Like my friends, they're not all on like this meditation routine and like trying to improve themselves. But that doesn't matter. You don't have to be like only talking with people who are like doing the same thing you're doing. It's still important to go talk with the person who maybe not, or maybe isn't necessarily like on these habits, but is maybe he's funny. Maybe you just hang out with them just for laughs. It's good to just enjoy yourself. Yeah, self-improvement, don't make that your entire personality. Self-improvement is a part of your life, not your life. But that's my 2 cents. But you never know. Like there is gonna be one person in your community that is on self-improvement that you don't know. Like just this year, like you need to talk with people first of all. But people in my area, I literally found 3 people on self-improvement just by talking, like being more social and connecting with more people. I found 3 people that are on self-improvement, and that's very valuable to have these connections with people who are on the same shit as you. So just be more social. You'll find someone. How should I go about improving myself? Because I try to do stuff like meditation, cardio, etc., but I lose motivation pretty quickly. It's like I do it for some days and then I fail, and then it happens again. Look, if you're going through something where like you're going up and up and up, and then you feel like you snap back down, it's like a rubber band. I know Hamza has a video about why you're being self-destructive or something like that, but it boils down to poor mental health. If you have poor mental health, you're not going to be able to move your baseline further up. Move your baseline instead of pulling the rubber band, because if you pull the rubber band, eventually it's going to snap back to baseline. Move the baseline, move the left side or right side of the rubber band up into that further direction rather than pulling one string further away and having it snap back. That's my little spiel on that. See, when I'm with people or just like go grocery shopping, I get mentally drained, and when I'm back home alone, I feel good. You're probably an introvert, to be honest. If you really like, if that's what happens to you, that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, any other questions? Otherwise, I'll go ahead and wrap up this lecture. Give you guys like 5 more minutes. How do you stop overthinking? How many times I want to? If someone like is going back and listening to the lecture, count how many times I say meditation. But meditation plays into it. Yeah. That'd be funny. They probably said it like at least 20 times. It's actually insane. But meditation is so like important. It literally improves like every aspect of your life. If you ask me something in the chat, I can probably find a way that meditation improves that habit, or like reduces the like want of going to that habit. It reduces your want or craving for PMO because you're mindful of that. Like you understand what you're doing. You're understanding that behavior instead of acting on a craving for PMO. You'll just sit and be mindful of the craving and the symptoms of it. If you're studying, you're going to increase your focus. You're going to decrease your distractions. But mindfulness and just meditation in general there's literally like I can basically tell you at least one thing that'll improve in anything pretty much. But yeah, any other questions, or I'll just close this off. Let's see. When it comes to the 2-minute rule, when do you do the next phase? Because I don't really know when I'll be 100% ready to go to the next stage. Well, let me think. I feel like when you're using the 2-minute rule, it's something like on the days you really don't feel like getting in and like doing the habit, you do minimal, you just show up. Having that just show up mentality is good on the days you don't want to do anything. And once you start to build the habit, you don't have to use like again, you don't have to use the 2-minute rule every single day. You're just using that rule on the days that you feel like you can't meditate for 20 minutes or something. And if that's every day, then look, use progressive overload. So you start with a minute, or you even start with 30 seconds, a second of mindfulness. Then you move up, progressive overload over time, and build up to the higher amounts of time. That's another method you can use. But 2-minute rule is just a tool. That's all it is. Use it on the days you don't feel like doing whatever, XYZ. I'd say that my mental health is very poor. So how should I go about improving that? See, mental health, there's like many things you can do. I'd suggest if it's really, really bad, like you're seeing like really bad like effects of it, I'd say therapy. But if you want to like wait, or you don't have money or something for like therapy right now, Fiverr has really cheap options. But meditation increases mindfulness, so that can help you reduce the symptoms you're feeling of that poor mental health. Journaling is probably the best thing that you can do for this, because if you're being introspective, journaling about your past mistakes, your past failures, whatever, that can help you like feel free. You're not burdened by those things anymore if they're on the paper. You don't have to keep it. You're like, your brain recognizes that. You don't have to have it in your head at all times. You'll feel a sort of clarity when you do what I'm talking about. But yeah, I recently had a fight with my best friend who I've been for 7 years. Now that I think about it, the friendship became toxic. Now all of my friends support her because she played the victim card. How do I get over this? Let's see. I think you share your side of the story, but if they literally, all of them, they all went to one side just off of a victim card, you must be young, because people in real life, they usually think these things through and aren't just going to be like, oh, she said XYZ and now I'm going to side with her completely. Usually they're going to think it through, so you must be a younger person. But I feel like you should try to share your side of the story with the people who do side with her, or if not, talk it through with her and try to get on good terms with that person, because otherwise they're gonna be dragging your name down, and you don't want that. Let's see. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right, one thing I will say is like we've had a lot of people, like I mean like a lot of people um have wanted to come up and host lectures themselves. We're still in the process of figuring out like who gets to hold them, because obviously if we have me and Miles doing them every week, we can't have like 7 lectures a week or something like that, reoccurring, and like because it takes away value from everyone else's lectures, and it makes it like harder to host them and bring value to the server. But we're still looking at a solution to that. But yeah, I just want to say that out loud because you know we want to have people up here. We want to bring as much value as possible. But if you guys have any solutions to that or think of anything, shoot me a DM or just at me in this lecture chat, because we're still like mulling over solutions. Is it okay if you postpone your dating life 10 to 20 years and just focus on building your life value? I think you should. Obviously, don't make dating your focus and you're like the only thing you're doing in your life, but it's okay to date people. It's completely fine. I think it can have detrimental effects later in your life, so don't completely cut it off from your life. Still, like again, like moderation. You don't want to be like a monk for 20 years. So, yep. And you date at what age? I wouldn't say be dating at like below 14 or anything super serious, because like those relationships tend to be toxic and not beneficial. So you can, but it's like a two-sided coin, double-edged sword. Yeah, Victor, I know you want to cover mental health and well-being. Shoot me a DM later. I'll try to get you in a call with the other Adonises, because we still need to find something to like a middle ground between only Miles host lectures or only Miles host lectures and everyone hosts lectures. So we're trying to find that middle ground right now. But I know mental health is a really great topic, and it's something that everyone can benefit from. How do you answer every question? They're so fast to every question. Yeah, as Kamara said, mindfulness meditation. You won't get distracted by thoughts. You can be able to think things through and like really digest the topics faster and just think clearer. But okay, one thing I want to do right now, everyone, all 53 of you, right now, if you haven't already, create your habit tracker right now. All of the Jeffreys that haven't, I want you to like create a habit tracker right now. Right now. Literally, don't be lazy about it. Get up, grab a piece of paper. If you need to, do it online. Get a pen, pencil, write it out right now. I need you to do that right now. Start putting in the initial steps to, first of all, you'll get into the cult, you'll have more value, and then you need to take the actionable steps to build these habits. These habits, like literally, just listening to me isn't doing anything for you. You need to actually put in the actionable steps. So, if you haven't already, get your habit tracker out right now. And Sour Smile, it's on just habits. But look, get your habit tracker out right now and hit one push-up with me. All of you. I'm gonna get down as well. Hit one single push-up. I've already exercised today, but do a single push-up. Just get your exercise in. This is a start. It's just a start. One single push-up. Here, I'll even do a clap push-up for you. Okay. That's your exercise for the day. If you just started like training or anything, that one single push-up, you can cross it off on your habit tracker. 52 push-ups just happened. Yes, sir. But yeah, just everyone do your push-up if you haven't done it already. But yeah, now Andrea asks, quick journaling tips for starters. There's a lot of people online who've posted questions to start off with for your what's called your track or your journal. Like use prompts if you need to start off with, but if you need to start off with just detailing your day, detail what you did throughout the day or whatever. But yeah, just start. Obviously, you're not going to be like Marcus Aurelius when you first start journaling, and you're not going to be like the best journalist ever when you first start. Just start detailing your day. You can move on to talking about like specific questions. Like you can talk about what rules do you have for your life, what do you want to do in your future. Be introspective, ask yourself questions and answer those questions. Is journalist the right word? Depends for what, but we wouldn't call ourselves journalists, I don't think, because usually journalists are like people who make the articles and stuff online. But I might be wrong about that. But yeah, like Andre, like what you want to be, what do you want to do? Ask yourself questions about yourself. Hey, my floor cracks. Nice, bro. Anyway, yeah, it's great. And sorry if I excluded anyone who can't do full push-ups, but if you needed to, just do knee push-ups. If you didn't do your push-up and you needed to do knee push-ups, or if you can't even do knee push-ups, do a wall push-up right now if you haven't already. I'm sure most of you guys have took action, but if you haven't taken action, I'm on your ass right now. Do your fucking push-ups. But yeah, I'm gonna answer this last question from Adonis, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. And I'm gonna answer the question from Japoy because I posted that quite fast. But does the community here plan to offer coaching/mentorship in the future? If so, will you charge directly, or can we volunteer to do some of your work in exchange for direct mentorship? That is a great idea. We don't have that currently in place. Actually, let me write that down honestly, or take a picture of that because that's actually a really good idea. I'm probably I don't know if I have time anymore because of school starting up, but it's a great idea. Right, so I have your idea down, but I know personally I'm gonna start personal coaching for free, just to like get some like get like my first of all my skills up, and then I'm gonna obviously ask for some like reviews of my coaching and how it is to put on a website. So I'll do that for free. I'll have like at least 50 people, or maybe not that many, but 25 free coaching things. Yeah, but if you want to be first in line for that, just send me a TM. It's funny. All right. Is it suitable to have a strict timetable for the day? Is it better? I get fucking like 3-4 messages instantly. Nice. Is it suitable to have a strict timetable for the day, or is it better to just go along with the flow? I feel like having a strict timetable increases productivity, but the problem with that is sometimes having a full strict timetable, it's hard to like get all like you kind of burn out over time if you're super strict about it. So I feel like you need to have a more not super strict, but like strict enough that it's like get stuff done. So like you can have something like a timetable where you have a morning routine, but it's not like super strict where you have to do like X amount of time like the whole time. You're just doing the habits, so like you can do lower amounts of time. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, no, I feel like I literally got like 7 messages just off of that, but that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, as Metro said, like obviously I'm trying to grow a business for myself, so I'll do it for free now, and then eventually I'll have to make it paid when I have a bigger following and whatnot. So just take advantage right now while you have the chance. for like something free, because I'll be offering it free for a while. But again, guys, I'm not fucking Jesus Christ, my chair almost broke. Yeah, I won't be coaching yet. It will be in a month or two. But you guys will be first on the list. Whoever messaged me right now will be first on the list to get the coaching. But yep. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you guys for coming out and like listening to me speak just for like an hour and a half straight, or 2 hours close to. It's been great talk. It's been literally 2 hours. It's been great to talk to you guys. It's been great to hear your journeys from Warren, from my bad, Victory, I think, and like I love hearing about your guys' self-improvement journeys, and I love giving information to you guys. So thank you for the chair couldn't handle your speech. But yeah, thank you for coming out, boys. It's been real. It's been love. Have a good one.